de favela, a bailão é baile de favela.
Hello once again, audience. This is Total Gamer Jockey and I'm back with Vampyr. Now, when we last left off, we just spoke to Colossus Joe's son, and now we're gonna find out more stuff about Dorothy and her whatever she's doing, like helping patients or legal surgery, whatever it is. I was stopping for popcorn. Alright.
Where's my money?
Let's have a little talk.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye for...
Where'd you go? It's literally right there. What's this? Oh, is this journalist?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
No.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace.
Yeah, right.
People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Whoops.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Yeah.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
That's an
I'll remember to
understatement
stay
right
away
there.
from the district's roughest streets then.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
That's very suspicious indeed. Nothing over here, no?
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
That religion
I'd like to
and
know more
science
about
will
her.
never get
I don't
along.
like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fibre.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I
Tell me
suppose I can spare a few
your
minutes
truth.
listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical?
Oh, this I gotta hear.
We must
once
fight
again.
the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No,
What is left then?
cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Science
is our
and
only hope.
progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you
Nah.
are seeking...
And I just heard this.
Well, what do you...
But
But
Good evening.
let me try talking to him again, but saying something else.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
no. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
I'm getting kind of like I'm getting kind of like a molester vibe from him, you know what I mean?
Where did
This
you
guy
send him?
definitely
I
molests
sent Samuel
children.
to the
That
Stonebridge
face
Cemetery,
says it all.
where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
He's a total kitty fucker.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Anything else? No.
I have heard enough for tonight.
Alright, so what's that new quest for? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Retrieve Samuel, retrieve Barrett Lewis's letterbox, and retrieve Samuel's disciples. 7 times. Is there anything else I can say to
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help?
Clayton? His name I forgot. No,
Good.
nothing else. Okay. Visible. I keep pressing the wrong one. Shit. Fuckers. Do you have anything on you? Crime Richard in the area. What was that? Is that the tombstone? If I'm gonna legit just run to the tombstone. Okay then.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Why are you lying to me?
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well,
one.
you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Touché.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
That's like me. I
Are you
like
not
going for
afraid of
jogs
the
at night.
epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
The
Such
hell does that
vibrant
mean?
antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, that's why I play games. Don't like reality.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Oh my, can I ask him a hint?
And
to
good-
pick up those things up? No.
I'll...
Alright. So we're gonna head over there. Find the inhabitants in Whitechapel, find them. Who's this? Oh, is that the one we were just talking about before?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I don't think I can.
I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
It's like bite a hole in her neck.
Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
Maybe inhabitants. Is it funny inhabitants in Whitechapel find the mailbox and the letter? So where's the... Small flower bouquets with voucher for free medical checkup in between the flowers. Ah, you're busted.
Hello again. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well.
There's another one. Find the mailbox in the letter. Oh, here it is. My dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry you have not heard from me in a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I am writing to you today. We won't be coming back to Romania. That probably won't. You have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now to feel useful one more time. I wish you long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from the cold, damp country. I am as ever your loving father, Darius PETRESCU'S.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Is there a place? Is there like a... Alright, there's an art I can go to. There's another mission on here too. Side mission. Retrieve. Alright, so if I marked it that one, where is it? Oh, it's up there. Loading, and who was that? I didn't get a good look. Unknown.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to
Really?
respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
No, of course not. Not yet, at least.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Here he is. Let's see if I talk to him real quick.
You again?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Oh, I'm almost tempted to kill him.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Goodbye.
Alright, where am I going now? Shit, I don't have enough blood, damn it. What's that, baby? Where is baby?
Soon the time will come when you will all be
And here we load again. I'm just gonna go get some sleep and then level up. Is this where I sleep or? Oh no, I don't think this is. I think I've messed this up just now. That's got an itchy head. Alright, back to it. Oh, hi there, little one. Alright, refill all. Just need to sleep. Which one's a shield? Invisible barrier. What's this one? You block your target's blood in their veins. Vampires will concentrate on prey's blood, stopping them in their tracks and making them defenseless. Focus your power on the boy or target's blood, causing it to finally explode, dealing damage to the target. How do I level up stamina? Here we go. Damn it, stamina. Increase the damage. Boom. The following night. A lot of stuff I'm recycling. Alright. No, upgrade. I need a common handle. Hold on, wait. Let's go back to that. Nope. You know, I just figure I make a bunch of them so when I come across people I can cure them, you know. That way it makes their blood. Oh shit! All the more safety. Shit, level 14. How is this place safe? No, not blood is addiction. Vampires drink blood. This may be their most specific trait. the sinister peculiarity of their condition, if I may say so, but for me this is not the most important characteristic of their diet. What has always fascinated me since I started to study them is the imperative need for blood they seem to endure. They want it more than anything, and this desire can drive them to expose themselves, and when they drink it they seem to feel some sort of short trance, an ecstasy epiphany, said to me once a Volkov I interviewed in Moscow. I am convinced that this is a central element to understanding the nature and condition of vampires. They don't drink blood because it's insane to them, but that it offers them ecstasy. Vampires are addicted to blood, all of them. It is part of their nature, and those among the immortals who refuse to submit to their appetite by the strength of their will only are never free from this addiction. From Unveiling the Night by Taltree. Alright, now let's leave this place. Just wait for you to load. Alright, here we go. I'm just checking my phone. Alright, I'm done now. Let's do what we have to do. Okay. Where are we going? We're going. Oh, we can't go through there. Tasty blood. Let me loot your precious body. Yes, bullets and a shilling. What do you have? 2 glass vials and what is this? Yeah. Ferrous tar. Whatever it is. How far away is this place? And again, the loading. Gotta say, this is what I dislike here, this main loading part, you know, when you just try to play and it's like, oh, no, nothing will let you. That person's dead. I'll get rid of that marker. There we go, some race. I just want to check up here. Should be over here. It should be in here somewhere. Blood samples. Where is this book of his? Should be here, right? Nuts, not here. Got him. Alright, so it's here. Alright, so what's the actual quest say? Here we see attacked while he was looting a place for trinkets. He had dropped his package to escape his home and like to retrieve the box. Whoops, oh well, I fell, my bad. Because no track, it says hit French inhabitants, so maybe it was these inhabitants here that attacked him. Keep pressing the wrong button. 5. This is up here, so it's gotta be here somewhere. No. I thought that was it, and I was like so excited. It's like, oh no, it's not it. How do you like switch up abilities and that? Shit. What the fuck is that guy? Shit, and I'm gone. No, bad guy. Fuck. It's gonna go off and fight him. And I died yet again. Look at that, it's like it wants me to kill the citizens. I didn't even know how to level up my mesmerism to begin with. Screw it, I'm just gonna do the mission. Little pig,
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Mesmerism level 2.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though. you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
What revolution?
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Very poor indeed.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything.
I do not believe in it.
Damn it, there's nothing more.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reid.
Okay.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
That is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. But I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reid. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
I think this it? Yeah, I think this is all. Let's open these people up.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek?
What?
Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I must be forward. Pretty hard to me.
I need to perform a tracheostomy.
Oh, but it's
Short
tricky
pipe.
on me.
That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor.
Doesn't have time for sterile environments. He's breathing out of his neck.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Yeah, busted out.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good.
Let that be.
The stitches are holding.
Like a heart monitor.
How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along?
I didn't even know what the fuck cardiac, but I didn't know what I'm doing.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Yeah, but it sure as hell.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manner. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reid?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Learning a spell, you'll forget it. Oh.
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Citizens available to kill. Take care of Dorothy's district who soon be affected.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, this one stinks already.
Kill it! Bloody leech!
Baby blood.
Better go home. Throw the leech, boys!
Shit, no, I'm going home, Don't mind me. Can't believe it actually worked. The new dialogue I can use.
Good evening.
You look ill.
I'm perfectly...
Good. Good evening, Benjamin.
I'm afraid no.
You don't seem well.
I always feel it.
I will see you. A gun, alcohol.
I'm dead. Let's see, which way am I? Nope, not that way. Alright, can I cure her?
Do you need any assistance?
It...
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Anything else I can ask? No.
Goodbye.
Don't know what.
Good.
Just checking to make sure if there's anything new I can...
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Do you need a...
That would be nice of you, Doctor.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Just giving everyone the medication.
Goodbye.
To kill him later. You know how it is. What am I doing up here? Alright, let me just talk to her.
Hello again. Camellia, I...
In hindsight, I probably should have sprinted because that cost stamina and it's turned invisible, so... Yeah, obviously not a good move.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy!
Huh?
Crush the leech, boys!
I don't even know. Shit. 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 Blood. Shit. Bloody son of a bitch. Shit. Alright, lie. I thought I was gonna die there. Fuck. nothing else in here. Alright, now I got mesmerized too. I can embrace that Milton story. To this quest here, steal the force. Then once you get the 4, you're next for cat. Now on to more important matters. Where are you, Milton?
What of my own life?
Now we get out of here again. Here we go.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'd like...
Wise choice, Dr. Reid.
Yeah, what do you have on you? Yeah, I didn't need that really. Take some cigarettes, and how good is that? Gun over there, 296 damage. Alright, now where was I?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need any medical...
I'm afraid I do.
There you go, have some medicine.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. Well, thanks, anyway.
You're welcome, buddy. Now look at that blood. Nice. Come with me. Having the poor pay for a bed, that is just despicable. Yep. Alright, where can I take you now? Might as well just, just bring him down and end him right here. Yeah, we're just gonna walk like this. Yeah, this is totally casual. I like the music. Damn it, where the hell can I embrace him? I need somewhere dark to do it because it's not letting me. Here we go, yes. Embrace the sweet mother's kiss of death.
Pippa, my princess, flee away while you can, for all is lost.
No. Got that. If we compare this, damage is 68. Nice. Let's double check the damage. It's 296 double barrel shotgun. And here's this guy. And that's Oswald, and that's Newton.
Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe, for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
It started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald.
Well, that's
He found me and saved me.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better now?
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during the shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc.
No,
you're really good.
Go on,
I had
please.
no idea.
Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Yeah, what happened when you were buried?
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. The terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
Shameful thoughts.
You're gonna eat him, weren't you?
Tell me about it.
Cannibalism.
At some point, I don't remember which day, when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
I thought about what I could do to survive, just for a few more days. I thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
What you endured was terrifying. It would have completely destroyed weaker men.
It did not destroy Newton.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me.
That?
I can't imagine life without him.
Yeah. Why should you be ashamed? Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Alright, now let's talk to Newton about this. I want to see his reaction.
Goodbye.
Where is he? Where is he going? There he is. What? Oh, he's down there. 3,785 XP. Nice. How the hell do you get in there?
It's locked.
Is this something?
Bloody city. We have no reason to be here. I have not survived being trivialities. We're not in the middle of a battlefield anymore. So get to
Is there a place like I can observe where they're talking or? Nope, can't go in.
I am not responsible for everything bad.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reid.
Sorry, just just checking something real quick. Sorry about this.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him.
Oh wait, shit, wrong guy.
Good.
Where is it? Here it is.
Hello again, Mr. Black.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, never thought I'd love a man.
Yeah, enjoy your love.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last summer. A shell hit our trench and we were buried for a week.
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it happened to me. Surviving it again gave me strength. You believe that?
Yeah, how did you survive?
How did you survive for a week?
By eating
Luckily
the
for
flesh.
us, there were rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see. Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
Good. Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reid.
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry. It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine. I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it, knowing he'll be seen as a queer, a fairy, less than a man in those simple-minded bigots' eyes. Though he's more of a man than they'll ever be, so fuck them all.
Mr. Thatcher, do you have a job?
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No. Nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher.
Alright, let's do this. Oh, you bitch.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reid. I like a man who speaks his mind.
What prevails in the end, I wonder? The desire for blood, or to be of service to man?
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
I don't want to be your friend.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
Why do you assume it's a he?
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon.
What?
We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Yeah, that isn't confusing or anything.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely, it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
I'm quite...
Do you need my...
Don't be...
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reid. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you. Soldier.
Not really.
I will... Good.
The pain.
The flower's dying. It needs water. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
series. At the queue before recounting their testimonies to an officer. Although the phenomenon appears to be a nationwide occurrence, the statements of the last 24 hours have converged around a single area in the country, Whitechapel, London. Yes, once more, the despised and loathed East End is left to struggle on its own, continuously overlooked by the authorities, even when numerous families from the district report the unexplained disappearance of relatives and neighbors. What has happened to these missing individuals? Where are they? The only link between them seems to be their health, and they need for urgent medical attention until recently. It was a local secret that the only place to get help was a discreet dispensary managed by unidentified Good Samaritans, but the place now seems to be closed and no one has any news from the facility. Did the missing persons go to a more secret place? Have they been discreetly moved to a more official service? Alright, so I'm just going to save this here. I hope you all enjoyed this walkthrough, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Total Gamer Junkie.